Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Brian J.T. Watts back with another episode of Come Together. Today I am talking to Parris Gunn Jr. Parris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
You good? You good? I see you laying back. You got a big screen back there, virtual background, playing the zooming. So we're gonna get into that soon. I just want to say this: you are one of a kind with the guests that I've had. Last week we had Tone Andrews on here, our mutual friend actually, and it was crazy because I was telling people that I've known him since he was in about first grade. But wow, this is
You see all the secrets now. Okay.
makes me feel kind of old because I remember when your mom was pregnant with you, and now we're cohorts. You know what I'm saying? I'm hanging with a dude I wasn't there at the delivery, but I remember you coming to church the first time and all of that stuff. So it's really good to see this happen for you to grow up and be somebody productive in society and to be somebody that I can talk to, even though I felt like I was years beyond you. But now, we're in the same crew. We're cohorts to say the least. So it feels good. So definitely welcome to the show. Definitely want to let everybody know about what you're doing. But before we do that, tell us a little bit about, your growing up and what you've done in your past before you got to this point.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's not really. I've had a good life. I wasn't sheltered too much, but of course I've had both my parents, which you know, my grandparents, which you know, my great grandparents on both sides of the family, and so I grew up in a 7 day Adventist, um, not super old school home, but very progressive. Um, as far as I can remember, I've always been in the church. I don't remember a time where I've never been in church. My parents have been singing for as long as I've been alive, and probably even before then. So we left you guys when we was in New York, probably when I was about 10, and moved to Florida, and we lived next to my grandparents and so forth. And so all that stuff that they had set up for us as young Christian kids was brought to Florida. That same energy that they had with you guys and the choirs and stuff, they brought that same energy to Florida, and that's how it was for me and my brothers and sisters. So I left Florida. Don't get me wrong, I don't remember all the different years, but I left from Florida to go to a Bible college to be a pastor at Carver Bible College in Atlanta, Georgia. And I left college then, right after 9/11. That was, so maybe that we did the Christmas tournament next year, January. I left and went to the military, and I was in the military for about 5, 6 years, roughly. So I went to Iraq. I was in the Operation Enduring Freedom War, came back home, um, dealing with all that stuff that was out there back home, the residual effects, as they would say. Um, I was kind of lost for a little bit, just trying to find, like we were talking about off screen. I was trying to find PJ as opposed to the gun, and because I was dealing with so much, I ended up. I was always into video games. That was something that we had in our household. My dad played. My mom would sit and watch because she loved the stories. So I ended up just playing video games to just take my mind away from the stuff that I was thinking about and the stuff that had been going on in my life up until that time.
Well, man, that last sentence is a lot because a lot of people think that guys just play video games for no reason. Everybody's at home. All the guys are sitting at home, wasting their time playing video games. And I found out a couple of years ago that there are some guys who play video games and they actually make money. I found out years ago. I was like, wow, they got big stats. They're playing, people around the world. And some of these guys, this is actually their income. And I was like, wow, that's a positive. But it seemed like nobody ever put a positive spin on it. When I was young, video games were just at the arcade, and you had to get a quarter and play. And I was always one of those guys. So if I put a quarter in there, I was going to be finished in a few minutes. It didn't matter. I was going to, no problem. There's no skill with video games in my house. Maybe I can hang on centipede or millipede for a minute, but after that, it's downhill. So video games has never been really big for me. I like them. I used to play the football games and stuff, but I was never. So you actually have taken it to a different level. So let's let these people know about family gaming and how that came about and what it's exactly doing for you right now.
Okay, let me see now. Because none of this is scripted. So as I tell you the story, I have to make sure I govern my emotions because it was a very emotional time for me.
Okay.
How it came to be. So because video games wasn't like a big thing in the home, but it was a family time. My mother, my dad, my brothers and sisters, we all sat around to play video games. That was something that the Guns at our house did. My dad played video games. My mom watched them as movies, so that was our bonding time. When I got married and we had our son, I was having a hard time bonding with him early.
Okay.
And so my wife was hustling. She's also in the military. She was working and going to school. And because I was home all the time with him, I was trying to, I'd be sitting around and I'd be just playing video games and taking care of him and stuff. And as he started to get older, I would have him sitting in my lap and, he was watching. He was a baby, I guess. And as he got older, he was, it was just something that I knew when I was doing it, he was comfortable. It stopped him from crying. So I found something that I can do to keep my mind off of all the things I'm thinking about. And I'm holding him and he's in my arms and I'm playing video games. We're having this time. As the time would go by, as he was getting older, I was still trying to find something that me and my father had where we just clicked. It's not something that's forced. And I guess unless you have some type of trauma, whether it is that you've never experienced having a father or a mother, you're never going to know what it feels like to feel like you're not connected to something that belongs to you.
Right.
So we struggled with that, me and my son, for a few years. It was hard for me. My wife really helped, the family really supported and stuff. And then one day my son was like, when he started talking, he's like, "Dad, can I play?" So I'm laughing as we do when you're joking with our boys. And you don't know what you're doing and, blah, blah, and you give him the controller and you realize, wait a minute. He's acutely aware of what's happening. So then the conversations kick in where, hey, if you go to this door, you can find the key and do that and boom. So now when I'm getting ready to have my time to go sit in the studio and play the video games, "Dad, you going to play games?" "Yeah." "Can I come?" "Sure." So fast forward, he's almost a genius. He picks up everything super fast.
Right.
He asks a bunch of thousands of questions. And I realize, oh, he likes this. He likes the same stuff that I like. And that becomes our bonding. And once that kicks in, other things just kick in after that. "Yeah, where you getting ready to go?" "I'm about to go play basketball for a little while." "Can I go with you?" "Okay." "Dad, what you going to do?" "I'm going to go play football." "Can I go with you?" "Okay." And the video game is what kind of brought me and him together and then opened the doors for everything else. That's how this initially started, was just a way for us to bond.
Right. Well, let me pause you for a minute because that's amazing. I'm going to tell you, if you had talked to anybody, any parents when I was young, there's nothing good coming out of video games as far as they're concerned.
Really?
Well, you got to understand, it was a very new phenomenon when we were young. So when they started the house, in fact, I go so far back as to Pong, which was the first video game. Just a little, for y'all who don't know out there, the little dot that was going across the screen, and you had two sides. One person had this one, and one had that. We had to keep it from. It was like tennis, and I never had video game systems in the house when I was growing up, so I was just happy when we serious, and me and my brother would jump over there on it, on my sister. And before that, I would say, "Hey man, get back over here." So, we were trying to play on the little ColecoVision or whatever it was. And video games have come a long way. But it seems, even though everybody was buying them, they always made it seem like it was something that was a waste of time or something that
Really?
people were doing too much of. So when I hear you talk about it opening up doors for you, I'm very happy for that because truthfully, the guys my age were the ones who really were into video games. I mean, those guys a little older than us and everything, but that was our time. The whole Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, all of that stuff got really big while we were teenagers. And you saw some adults playing, but I mean, the teenagers were just in it. And everybody was getting systems, and systems lasted for a long time then. If you got a Nintendo 64 or whatever it was that was it for a little while. You were buying those for at least 2 or 3 Christmases. But then there was something else, and there was something else. And now it seems like a new one is coming out every year.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing.
If I did a flash forward, it would be we had an Apple computer.
Wow.
So I had to be under 10 because we were still in New York. And my dad would say I could play Pong if I did really good on my spelling bee. So we played Pong. And a little bit after that, my grandfather, George Rivers, he had a Commodore 64. And he had a game that would, I think later on would come to be maybe Donkey Kong. He had a game kind of like that, but it wasn't called Donkey Kong. And we played it on his Commodore 64 floppy disk for years. Matter of fact, even when I came back from college and he told me I could have it, I kept the computer system.
Wow.
My dad bought the Nintendo system, and the first 2 games we had on it was 3 games. Duck Hunt, Super Mario.
Gotta be Duck Hunt.
My Uncle Rube bought the Mike Tyson version of Punch-Out before they did it.
Yes.
So it's been in our family somewhere where it was. So if we're going to have a family movie night, because my mom was into scary movies, we would play the original PlayStation 1, the small gray one,
Right.
Resident Evil. We would sit down with pizza and popcorn and we would play it, but it's a movie.
Right.
We'd all be scared. We have all the lights off in the house. And my dad be like, "Don't do that. If you go in that room and you don't got your healing potions, you're going to get killed." I have to double back and go do it. That's how we spent our time in the gun home all the way up until even to now. We still all together and we'll play games and stuff like that.
That sounds like a great time. So it seems like what you have done now is taken what you were taught and just kept it going.
Yeah.
And that's great. So how has this become something that you do now? How has this big revelation, you plugging in with your son, how has that become family gaming now that is your thing?
All right. I have to, and I'm probably going to miss some. But the core group, I'm just saying the core group's name, Jaw Jacking plus Gerv, the GOAT, his brothers, Kim Davis, his brothers, Jay Good, Mario Sullivan, Navarro, Knuckleheads. We were all talking about what streaming was doing, and they were saying, listen, we need to start a streaming Black young men coalition.
Right.
So we started doing podcasts, and we was playing video games together. And during the time that we're streaming now, we're having real conversations. The games are fun, but then people are asking questions in each of our different streams. And I was talking about the military. I was talking about religion. I was talking about parenting as a Black father, and we're all having these different types of conversations. And my chat started to really blow up. Oh, I was in the military too. Oh, I suffer from PTSD too. Oh, I have a lot of problems emotionally feeling if I'm doing a good thing as a Black father, or if I'm taking care of my family as a disabled veteran, and so forth and so on. And I was like, so as I'm playing the game over the years and people are joining and having these conversations, I'm talking to them also in the whatchamacallit. And those guys was like, listen, you have something special because of how many different people you can reach.
Right.
We should, create this thing, and you should definitely create your your own separate brand
Right.
to bring what you call it is. And you're playing video games with your son sometimes. And you're playing video games with your daughter sometimes. Sometimes the kids are playing video games together. Bro, and your wife is playing video games? How many guys have they're playing video games and their wives are playing video games with them? I was like, I can do that, but I don't know how it works. They was like, listen, we'll figure it out together as a group and we'll back you. We'll help build the foundation that you're going to stand on and we can get it up and running. So I said, okay. And then the kids were talking and we're trying to figure out how we're going to do it. And my son came up with the name Family Gaming because he said, we're all family. We didn't have separate channels that you would have to go follow my wife, follow, Tati, follow Parris. There's like, no, we all do it together and we just have one channel that we all branch from. I said, okay, all right. I like that. I like that name. And so then the guys were trying to figure out, okay, what's your thing going to be? Oh, me and Rhonda are military, so we need to hire a cartoon artist to draw our pictures. And the kids were little then. And it really just little by little, every time you're streaming and you got 5 people in and 10 people in and 100 people in, it generally just catches motion.
Right.
And once you realize, oh, snap, it's really doing it. Now you're kind of just along for the ride.
Right.
And so that's how it came to be. And the kids started finding their own niche. Not that they were just streaming with dad, but hey, I want to play these games. Let my sister come play with me, or she has her own interest.
Right.
But in my head, when I'm looking at it, also during that time, is that I would catch my kids watching certain YouTube channels that I was like, y'all too young to definitely be watching this. And so then in my head, I'm like, how do I keep my brand or who I am core to what I believe? And I realized, oh, you know what? On Friday nights and Saturdays are high streaming times. Games drop on Friday night. Everybody's playing the newest game when it comes out. Now, of course, you can go around that, and there's a bunch of different algorithms that they go to, but I don't play games generally on Friday night, whether they drop. If they drop early in the day, I might play, but not on Friday nights because that's my Sabbath. I don't play games on Saturday. So you miss some of those extra viewerships of the newest games. For me, it was, if you're a parent and you look over your child's shoulder and you see them watching family gaming, you're like, oh, they can watch that channel. I don't have to pay attention to it. Because as parents, we're supposed to scout what our kids are watching anyway. Right. You realize, oh, that young man is streaming, and whether he's streaming by himself or with his kids, or the kids are streaming or his wife is streaming, they're a good, wholesome channel.
Right.
And I used to put out, when the kids were younger, I used to put, this is an 18 and up chat and upstream, because I'm streaming right now with just the adults.
Right.
It's prime time now, so I put the disclaimer up there so they would know. But my kids, they're older now.
Right.
But we still keep to some of those watch calls, but I don't have to put that disclaimer up there anymore. But that's what I wanted it to be and wanted it to look like. If a parent catch their child watching, they're like, oh yeah, his wife is so funny when she's on her sipping stream and talking about being a mother, taking care of the kids and the what you call it. Oh, I always see you watching it when the kids are playing. They're so funny. Oh, the guy he's playing, yeah, he's always playing with his kids and stuff. That's what I wanted my channel to be like when you hop on it.
That's great. That's great. So you're like the streaming version of Little House on the Prairie. I mean, like you're very safe.
No, I would say more like a festival.
You know, I'm not ready to say that.
Yeah.
I was Little House on the Prairie, so I get that. We're going to take a break for commercial. We're going to be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with Parris Gunn Jr. and Family Gaming.
Hey, it's Tawana here, full-time entrepreneur, full-time mom. I'm here to tell you that having Brian, or should I say Mr. Watts, as a resource for my son throughout his high school years has been extremely instrumental in making sure he got and stayed scholarship ready. Even now, as a freshman in college, my son knows that Mr. Watts is just a call away. So you want someone in your child's life that has the experience that Brian brings. You want someone who has the relatability factor that Brian brings. You need someone like this on your child's team. It takes a village, and it is great to have Mr. Watts as a part of your village.
All right, we are back. BJ, I'm really kind of amazed at everything that's going on. You told me the story before, but even hearing it now again, I'm kind of amazed because to have a whole family doing something together, you got to know it's not regular for anybody. That doesn't happen. People don't work together. Even a couple working together is hard. So to have your whole family on something. So how does this actually work now? Is there something you're making money from? Is it something that you're just putting out there as your way to give back to the community? What does family gaming night do for you on the whole?
It's a little bit of both. Trying to push out some family type content that's fun, that people can enjoy, that's authentic. And although you're not hoping to get a lot of money, but you're hoping to make some type of income, I guess, from it later on, it's really, sometimes I make enough to be able just to give back to the community and do giveaways. Sometimes I make enough to be able to buy some extra, family gaming apparel for the family. And generally it just stretches to here and there and, little places. Other times I have enough to buy new games that the community wants to stream. I was doing it through the communities that I was streaming for, but when I realized how much they were taking out, I ended up just going to like a Patreon type service where people would just give donations. So with that, whatever donations people are subscribing to for the month, then they would get access to different content, behind the scenes, a special, we're partnered with Under Armour. So we have an Under Armour like sports line.
Okay.
As opposed to, let's say, a Walmart shirt or something like that. So we have those different tiers, and those people get access to those T-shirts and those polo shirts and the Under Armour basketball shirts and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And the money that we make from there, we use that to get some more designs or add some more baseball caps or school book bags. Sometimes we take the money and we give it to my sister, Letitia Gunn, who is a community director at the YMCA. So when they do fundraisers and stuff like that, the family game and donates to the YMCA that she works at so that the kids can have extra stuff for the kids who don't have certain things in her area. We do that every year when she sends the paperwork and the sponsorship and stuff over for them. So we do a lot of that kind of stuff with any of the extra money that we get. I'm not really doing it for the money. If it comes in, great. If it doesn't, my kids are still walking around in school without people knowing sometimes that the family gaming socks that their parents ordered, like that they're wearing, are designs from my son and my daughter. The shirt, wait a minute. Oh, isn't that? And then they'll say his name. Isn't this, what'd you call it? Because the kids, my kids are teenagers now. This is when we first started, but they don't want to change it. They like it like that. So when kids in school and they have certain items to them, they'll just tap each other like, look. Some kids that don't even talk to them don't even realize that that's who they're watching on the stream sometimes.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, it's so funny how so many things can come out of a desire for something better or a time of need or something like that, and then it comes to you and it becomes something big. And because you have solved your problem, you have now solved a problem for other people. You were intentional enough to try to find something for yourself and been blessed to do that. And then now it becomes a blessing for other people. And I think that's one of the things that our community needs the most. I think that a lot of times we find things and we keep them to ourselves. And you have definitely shown all of us that spreading it out has made it better. Other people are coming in to find out how good this could be, how we can just have this time together. And like you said, your whole family's in it, and you're not making everybody be you. Everybody's on your channel being themselves. And that reaches out to other people. And I mean, it's good for me as an old head. I know the relationship that your parents have with young people and everything. They brought me and my sister into the choir that we were in. They brought a lot of us, and they took young people. They took a lot of us. I don't know what we would have been doing, put it that way. The time right after church that we would be in choir rehearsal with them every week was to keep us out of trouble, basically. Because we could have been doing a host of things, So to see you sort of carrying it on in your own way now, where you're helping whole families and they were helping families. So it seems like it's just a gun tradition, and it's going down the line because now your kids know about this. They know how to reach out to the community. They're in that, and so I think that that's a really positive thing. What do you have you seen any? And I know you live in Florida, which is a state that seems to be sort of going as far as they can go to be against our community right now, wiping out our history and things of that nature. What do you see as any barriers? You see any barriers that have come from you being a positive Black man in this space that you're in right now?
Without, that's a good question. And it's an easy answer. I'm trying to verbalize it without trying to exaggerate. I don't, for me, because of who I am and how I operate, I don't really move outside of my own, let's say, solar system.
Okay.
My outreach to the community is generally not me going out certain places and doing that kind of stuff. What I tend to do is reach out through media
Right.
because this is where I'm comfortable at. This is where the other things that I have that I have to deal with don't get triggered.
Right.
There are there are so many messages and private chats that I've gotten to my email that ended up also turning into phone calls where I would sit up here and just talk to whoever this is online about suicide, about their parents not loving them, the wife is, or the girlfriend is this going on, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
My husband, it's across the board. And for me, when I think about it, I said, or when I talk to it about to my parents and to my wife, they feel that that's my witnessing. This is how I operate for me. I can't tell you how many times watching from whatever my parents did with you guys when I was too young to even know it, but watching on my end for my brothers and sisters, how many young people would run away from home to come to my parents' house,
Right.
spend the night for my parents to then take them back home the next day or have their parents come, sit down, talk to those people and have them people show up at church or change the children's lives. Or my parents just simply like, hey, you guys ain't leaving this early to go do something on a Saturday night and we have AYS. I tell you what, we'll have AYS. Y'all come back to the house and invite your friends to the house. My dad would have plethora of different children from all around that want to hang out with me and my sister or my brothers and sisters to come to the house first, witness, have a good time, just chill, and then send everybody off on good spirits out for the evening. So for me, learning all of that stuff and watching it like, oh, my people, because at the time, not for my sister, but for me, I'm like, man, I don't want to hang around my mom and dad. I'm ready to go. I got a car, I got a license. I know what's out in these streets. I'm trying to get out of here. Dad, make everybody come to the house first. Hey, talking, and he's real smooth and charismatic, and his voice never raises. And my mom is so bubbly and joyous. Everybody's like, man, your dad's so nice and so cute, and your mom's so fun. Man, God, do you see how many times I got what? I'm trying to get out of here.
Right. Right.
So I know that feeling. So when I hear the different things that happen outside of my world, in the outside world, and the kids or the different people are talking to me, I always say, oh, this is my dad was doing and my mom was doing for these people. This is why they ran to me. Sometimes it could be in the middle of the night, we're doing stuff, and somebody will call me with a massive problem, and they just want me to pray for them.
Right.
So that's where I don't have to actually be at the church and giving pamphlets and doing all that other stuff. There's another way for me to be able to reach out and share my faith and my belief and other people without even me having to leave the home.
And it's more authentic because it's yours. It's you. You know, it's not you having to put it on or having a time frame in which you operate in. You're you all the time. You know.
So the only I think now that I'm thinking about it, as we're questioning, the only thing that would stop me as a black man from being able to do good, what you call it, is really me.
Right.
If I don't do it, not that somebody else can't do it, that's just me not contributing.
Right.
And there's times where I don't because I'm dealing with my own stuff in my own life, and I don't have any positive to give you
Right.
because I don't feel positive about me right now. I don't feel positive about what I'm going through. So I can't give that to you. So I have to always work on myself because I realize a call, a text, an email might come in.
Right.
I have to be spiritually and mentally in tune so that I can give that to somebody else if they need it.
Right. That's the big part of being in a relationship, whether it's the relationship with your wife, with your kids, or with your community, is to know when you're empty. You know, and be like, okay, this is not a good time for me to share. Don't have to take the share out of it. Once I get filled up, or once I even get halfway filled up, maybe I can give you something in.
Right.
Not a good time. So, and I just read that today as well. That's a wise way of looking at life and understanding, you know, knowing yourself, knowing, hey, can't do that right now. And it's not a bad thing. You know, people will learn to understand and respect that because if they got something from you in that time, they wouldn't want it again. And, you know, they're like, okay, I'm trying to save you. So that's a big plus, something big that you definitely want to do. I'm definitely proud of you, man. It's definitely good to hear all of this. So this is not just for military people, right? Anybody can get onto this?
Yeah, I'm streaming on YouTube. Partnered with Facebook. I'm partnered with Twitch. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm generally on a lot of social media. So whenever I go live, it literally just it touches everything. When I go live, it touches all my social media platforms at the same time for anybody to watch and see what's going on or what's he doing today. Maybe I'm doing something you're interested in. Maybe I'm not. But when I go live, I'm generally doing it for my channel, whether it's me or the kids or my wife. It's going everywhere for everybody to see it and join in.
Okay, well, that's great. Well, since you said that, let's go ahead and get you to let everybody know how they can get in touch, how they can reach out, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, so they can check out Family Gaming.
Family Gaming is on all social media platforms at Family Gaming with the underscore. He was able to lock it in. My son is the one who did the search to find if anybody had this hashtag or this so that we can lock it in on every social media. So on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, there's variations, but if you in your Google search, if you type in at Family Gaming with the underscore, it'll pull something up that belongs to us.
Where's underscore? At the end?
At the very end, one
Okay.
word. And then the only other variation is Family Gaming, the number 4, and you.
Okay. Well, listen, man, I'm so proud of you. Enjoyed spending some time with you over the break, Christmas break. But listen, definitely be back down there since it's so cold here in Maryland. Definitely come back to Florida at every moment. But listen, keep doing your thing, man. Keep being encouraging. You and your whole family are doing a lot, and you are definitely a chip off of the old block, man. You are doing. I couldn't believe how much you are, but it's great to see. So definitely thank you for coming on the show and sharing. I'm sure the audience will enjoy it, and we'll definitely stay in touch, man. And maybe we can get some come together shirts over there on the Family Gaming site. We can.
Okay.
All
right.
Well, thanks so much, man. Have a good one, and we'll list all of your streaming platforms and everything, so people can get in touch with you and share in this great family gaming night.
I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, peace.